At First Choice Bank, Thanksgiving reminds us what truly matters: family. For over 125 years, we proudly support our local communities, helping families, businesses, and neighbors reach their goals. From all of us at First Choice Bank, we wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
Give the gift of a delicious burger from Bulldog Burger, a soup and sandwich from Sweet Pepper's Deli, appetizers and cocktails from The Grill, or even a wood-fired steak from Harvey's. Choice is the perfect gift. An all-in-one gift card from Eat With Us.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Well, good evening and happy Tuesday across North Mississippi. Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynard, and we are tracking a much calmer forecast than what we were tracking even 24 hours ago. So that's the first good headline. We have a lot of good headlines, but that's definitely the first one that a lot of us are noticing heading into these overnight hours. So let's go ahead and get into those headlines here from the Room to Room Weather Center. Of course, dry conditions going to be in place, but we do expect a noticeably cooler, or should I say colder, rest of the week, and that does start with our Thanksgiving. That turkey not going to be the only thing frozen for the start of Thanksgiving. No, a lot of us are going to be as well, with those temperatures starting around that same mark. So yeah, are you ready for the fall weather to really start kicking in? Well, if you've been waiting on it, it will be here definitely by tomorrow, but really by Thanksgiving. And our last but not least headline is, where are we headed this Friday? Well, drum roll please, and we will gladly get that up right here in the Room to Room Weather Center. And as you can see on your screen, well, here in a moment, right there, you'll definitely see that it was a tight battle. But at the 10 o'clock hour, these are the results of our Mississippi Live Weather Game of the Week vote. Oxford versus Tupelo. Should be a great one there in 7A. Battle of North Half, battle of some great schools and great storylines as well. But we're excited to get out there and see the Tupelo Golden Wave take on the Oxford Chargers. Oxford looking for a little bit of revenge, but this time they have to do it away. We'll see who comes out on top. I do want to say Calhoun City versus Biggersville, a tight battle. And the fact that this is 1A versus 7A, the fact that we were only 1% difference, I mean, let's really look at those votes real quick. 3,360 votes for Oxford versus Tupelo, 3,236, so a 124 vote difference between our 1A and 7A matchup. We did have some good battles there in 4A with Kosciuszko versus Louisville, about 1,884 votes, and Kemper County, East Webster, hey, 2A repping for sure, 1,495. But I do want to say that number at the bottom, 11,600 votes, that is our record for the season, and what better way to do it than our final week of high school action here with Mississippi Live Weather, setting the record, 11,600 votes. I want to say, first of all, big thank you to everybody for participating in this. This is, again, one of the many startups that we've started with this whole adventure, and you guys have jumped on board and been such an amazing crowd in this process, and amazing participation as well, submitting 11,000 votes, and we're just getting this week started. We still have Friday to get into, and Friday is going to be action-packed for sure. So I want to extend just our gratitude here at Mississippi Live Weather, and you guys do not understand how grateful we are for all of North Mississippi and what you guys do for us. Our first 12, getting back into the forecast. I'm glad we can give back with the good forecast for sure, because, yeah, we control all this. No, big thank you to the big man above. 55 degrees, as you see, mostly clear conditions. Maybe some partly cloudy skies overnight, but no chance of rainfall, and that's the golden number whenever it comes down to all of this. 0% chance of rainfall overnight, and a beautiful sunny start to our Wednesday, our Thanksgiving Eve. Temperature-wise, going to be slightly cooler, about the mid to upper 40s, but by the time we get towards the afternoon, we're not talking 70s anymore. No, those temperatures will be drawn back a good bit. As you get a live look there in Macon with the North Mississippi Storm Chaser cameras, you're seeing a beautiful night sky with plenty of stars showing up. 59 degrees right now, but that dew point, that's what we're all paying attention to. Currently sitting around 57 degrees, but the further north and west you go, the lower that number is, which makes this number lower as well. Our temperatures just slightly lower, and that'll really start to cool off getting into the start of our Wednesday once that moisture clears out all the way. I mean, you can notice there in Oktibbeha County, 54 degrees in Mabin, dew points already at 54, and the further that number drops, the further our temperatures are allowed to go, because, of course, dew points kind of driving that forecast with how much we can cool off into those overnight hours. Going a little bit more north, right around that same margin, 55 degrees with dew points in 54 in Lee County right there in Tupelo, but a beautiful night. I mean, let's just soak all this in. If you've not just gone out and stared at the night sky, well, you're on Thanksgiving break, so you can do so because you don't have a bedtime. But if you want to get out there and do so, tonight is definitely the night to do it. You won't have to worry about raindrops hitting you or anything of that matter. Our Mississippi Live weather radar staying dry for the most part. We did have some of those showers work through earlier on today. Those working their way through the East Alabama area and on there towards Georgia. But as you do see, plenty of wind reports out here in the Birmingham area. But out here in North Mississippi, we kind of dodged a bullet in the grand scheme of things. As those storms work their way on through, the best thing that we got, or the most action we got, was all of that rainfall. Some high amounts. We did have a flood advisory in place last night, tracking that through the midnight hour. But as we track a few of these totals, I mean, we're talking some areas. You gonna let me? There we go. We're tracking some areas that had 2+ inches. I mean, we were talking about earlier how we could have some of that bright banding, meaning that it showed higher outputs than what was actually happening. Yeah, we did not get 5 inches. Multiple reports around the area had the highest rainfall amounts. I believe it was 3.3 inches there in, I think Kemper County. No, it was Water Valley. Over there in Water Valley, Bruce showing about 2 to 3 inches as well, getting some reports, confirmed reports as well. I do want to say this might be underdoing it just a bit because some local locations, the Manor household over there in northwest Lee County, got about 2.3 inches and it's reading 1.27. So it kind of varies where you're at, but the general idea is about 2 to 3 inches whenever we're talking about the past 24 hours. But really should be the past 24 up until about the past 12, because beyond that point, we've been dry as can be. Some of our Futurecast models having a few sprinkles working through the northern half of our area, not a drop, and we stayed dry overnight. So hopefully you got to go out this evening and enjoy a much calmer forecast than what we had this time yesterday. Continuing to expand this out, you can see on surface analysis that ridging pattern working over the top of us. I'm going to keep extending it out because that's how dominant this ridge is. You can see that low up there towards Minneapolis and the Great Lakes. I mean, heavy snowfall up there. My wife, she always talks about, Gabe, I want to see snow. I want to see snow. Well, anyways, if you want to see snow, I guess we got to make a trip to Minneapolis at some point. But jokes aside, that system is working its way through Canada, bringing a lot of rainfall up the East Coast as well, a very dominant system, and that's why we did have the effects earlier on of some strong to maybe even severe storms here over North Mississippi. Now, high pressure, that's driving the forecast moving forward, currently sitting over there in the Nebraska area, working its way through Denver and on there towards western Kansas. That's going to drive our forecast for today, for tomorrow, for Black Friday, and maybe even the start of Saturday before that really starts to transition on through and our next system makes its way into the area. But you can see Futurecast just being dominated, I almost became an Australian, oh my word, dominated by that high pressure center there over throughout your Wednesday morning, continuing into those Wednesday. Hopefully you don't have to get up and leave at 6 a.m. But if you do on Thanksgiving week, it's going to be a good forecast shaping up for you. I do want to say whenever we are on the east side of that high pressure, we get these winds that wrap around in this clockwise motion. And since we are on the east side of this system, that clockwise motion pulls wind in from the north. And so that's where we're getting a lot of this colder air up around the Dakotas. I mean, it's feeling like the Dakotas and Nebraska all the way down here in North Mississippi. So you can basically copy and paste that same forecast and we're dealing with those same conditions. Maybe not as cold, but at least going to be a very cold forecast getting into our Thursday once that system really pushes into the area. So by mid-morning, dry conditions and clear skies once again. That'll be our forecast by Wednesday at lunchtime and even into the afternoon. So it's looking like a good forecast to make some plans outside. A lot of folks on Thanksgiving break right now. Well, what more reason do you need to get out and about? That's perfect timing with perfect weather. The only thing missing is you. Our next 47 degrees for the start of the day. Take a look how temperatures don't climb that much throughout the day. That's as that wind starts to shift more out of the north, about 10 to 15 miles an hour, driving that colder air into our area, only climbing to the mid-50s. And where the cold will really be felt is into our Thanksgiving. So starting out the day, at least our Thanksgiving staying dry. We'll have a look at that forecast in just a moment, but the thing you really need to see, that number you really need to see, are those temperatures, and we'll take a look at that in much more detail coming up on Mississippi Live Weather at 10, live from the Room to Room Weather Center in the next 60.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff.
You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
The bravest thing that my dad has done has been going back to school.
It wasn't when he first enlisted, it was when he found his first support group.
The bravest thing she did is when she asked for help. You wonder how they're going to experience the real world in real safety, where all kids are welcome and everyone has a path forward to new skills, advancement, leadership, something they will carry with them the rest of their lives.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynard.
Finally enjoying the calm after the storm across North Mississippi, and we're continuing to see that in the Edinburgh area. 59 degrees, dew point still a little bit higher, 57 degrees right now, but that's as that moisture clears out of the area, shifts out towards the east, and we make way for a drier pattern as we move into that extended forecast, and really talking about that Thanksgiving forecast as well. We also take a look there in Columbus, a busy intersection out there on Highway 82. Busy, of course, a sarcastic comment because it is 10 o'clock on your Thanksgiving break. Folks not really out and about this evening. I'll tell you one thing, if I was in Columbus right now, I'd be heading to Krispy Kreme. My word, those are some good donuts. Late at night, always hit the spot. Highly recommend if you are ever in the Columbus area, swing by there and grab you a good donut. Original glaze, gets the job done. Now I'm hungry. All right, temperatures right now, 54 degrees in Tupelo, 56 Water Valley, 57 around Greenwood, and of course 59 Louisville. Still seeing 60s in Knoxville and Pickens County, but that of course going to work its way east and make a way for the cooler air at some point here soon. Temperatures right now as we look across the general area of the southeast, 58 in Monroe, Louisiana, 49 out in Fayetteville, and you're seeing a lot of blue coming on the far northwest side of your screen. That's that cooler air sinking into North Mississippi ever so slightly, and we will see that temperature change over the next 24 hours. Already seeing a 2-degree difference from this time yesterday. Of course, our forecast is a lot different from this time yesterday, but our meteorologist Maggie McCauley will have a breakdown of that temperature change and forecast some cold conditions towards Thanksgiving and Black Friday, but it's an exciting time, just a cold time as well. So have that warm cup of coffee ready. Looking at the, of course, the beautiful night sky across North Mississippi and our Mississippi Live Weather Radar, staying dry across the region, not even rainfall in Birmingham as that has worked its way out towards the east into Georgia, and we're not even left with the drop, maybe down there towards LaGrange. Actually shift radar sites here real quick to the Birmingham radar site. And you can see, yeah, a little bit of action down around the Auburn area, Union Springs, Eufaula, Troy. But besides that, that's really transitioning southeast away from us here in North Mississippi. And we're going to be left with these clear conditions into those overnight hours. So exciting time because we're not tracking anything overnight. Yes, we can go to bed at a normal hour. Everyone, go ahead and clap away. We are excited. I'm excited. Was up until about 3 a.m. monitoring things. And of course, Matt jumped on about that same time frame. Maggie joined a little bit earlier on. So it was a full team effort, tracking things behind the scenes. Even Caleb was awake at like 2 or 3 o'clock. And it's like, Caleb, you got to stay alert so that way in case we need you tomorrow, you can come in. But luckily, we did not have to have that, and we were able to all keep eyes behind the scenes. But that just shows you, hey, we got your back. We've been telling you that the whole time here at Mississippi Live Weather. All right, water vapor imagery definitely showcasing those drier conditions already moving in. Those oranges, if you look at the scale up top on the drier side of that legend, so that shows you that some better air is moving in place and not going to be dominated by those moist, saturated, hot, however you wanted to word it the past couple of days. Not exactly been that November forecast that we all know and love. So your day planner tonight, staying on the drier side like we mentioned, some partly cloudy conditions off and on, but it's really going to be those temperatures. 55 degrees by midnight, dropping into the upper 40s by 6 a.m. Notice the winds coming out of the west right now, about 5 to 10 miles an hour. That starts to make way to that northwest wind, 5 to 10 miles an hour. And into our Wednesday, we'll start to see those winds start to become a little bit more gusty and primarily coming out of the northwest. So that's that colder, drier air. So midnight tonight, again, tracking very little across North Mississippi as that last of that cloud cover works its way out of the area. Could see some off and on clouds redevelop, but that moisture working its way east. So it's not exactly a primed environment to form rain chances. It's really not a primed environment to form even cloud cover. And that's why we have mostly clear conditions for the start of Wednesday. And we have those sticking around all day long. Your Wednesday morning, talking about those low temperatures, we're talking low 40s around the northwest side of our viewing area towards Tunica, Senatobia, and South Haven. But working our way south and east, you can see 45 in Houston, 48 Starkville, and 50 showing up in Aliceville right there in Pickens County. Of course, that's the effects of the front working west to east, so you're going to feel a little bit colder out west before you feel that cold out east. That's just the effects of a cold front, and especially in this pattern. someone message me tomorrow and say, Gabe, no one is in school this week, and you need to take those graphics out. I don't know how it slips my mind every time that I make this, but it's been so ingrained to me the past couple of weeks that I've always had that school bus and school day graphic. It's just... And my wife's a teacher. I'm so sorry. I'm slacking for sure. I guess it's that lack of sleep from last night. But yeah, for sure. Okay, I see someone. Pat, I'm sorry. Krispy Kreme got in my mind. And I'm sorry if I made anyone else hungry at 10:15. I don't think there's any donut places open right now, but we'll just set your alarms down, wake up early tomorrow morning, and there you'll have your donuts for a beautiful forecast as well. I mean, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Wednesday, 7:30, you see those breezy conditions pushing in, but should be a beautiful sunrise. And if you miss the sunrise, you'll see the sun shine because it's going to be clear skies all day long. Let's go ahead and expand things out and look at that pattern that we are under. And of course, that big driver is going to be that high pressure center, that cold front pushing a lot of the moisture out towards the Atlantic, leaving us with that high pressure right over the top of us and giving us that northerly wind component, that drying things up and making things a little bit cooler for that forecast as well. That's sticking around towards those lunchtime hours. So grab those donuts. This is just going to be the donut forecast at this point. Grab those donuts by lunchtime. You can continue to eat the rest of those dozen and enjoy it at the park or anything that's outside just because of how great a forecast this will be. And as we get towards the afternoon, those conditions will continue to remain in place. High pressure inching closer, but you notice very little movement with it. So that's going to reside right over the top of us and give us those dry conditions over an extended period of time, not just for our Wednesday. So Wednesday at 6 p.m., dry, maybe a little bit of cloud cover moving in, but not expecting anything in regards to rainfall. Just a very fortunate forecast for sure for our Thanksgiving Eve. Now, high temperatures for your Wednesday going to be not too warm, I will say, or actually below average for what we typically expect this time of year. 56 in Bruce, 51 in Boonville, 57 Starkville, and 56 towards Louisville. We jump out west, 56 Belzona, Greenville, and 54 towards Cleveland. Our normal, 61 degrees, so not anywhere close to that. We're going to be sitting below average for this time of year. Let's continue that forecast into our Wednesday evening, and of course you do see those dry conditions over the top of us, but into those late hours of our Wednesday, and I guess you could call this the start of our Thanksgiving, staying with those dry conditions, but cloud cover moving in along the Tennessee state line. Those working their way through the area overnight, but not expected to produce any rainfall or any fog or anything of that nature. It's just too dry of an environment. And if we expand things out here real quick, you can see, yeah, high pressure, wanting to be our friend, wanting us to be thankful for it, and it's really remaining right over the top of us. So yes, say thanks for high pressure, keeping us a beautiful forecast for your Thursday. That will linger right over the top of us and keep those dry conditions around for any of those family football games, any Thanksgiving lunch plans, or even by that Thanksgiving dinner looking good to go. And even that little bit of cloud cover we do have clearing on up and making way for some much clearer conditions around Arkansas, Tennessee, and of course here in the Magnolia State. So it's a good looking forecast for sure. Temperature-wise, that's the only note, the only asterisk with this forecast. It's going to be colder for sure. 50 degrees Holly Springs, same thing towards Iuka, 54 Columbus, and 55 around Greenwood, 52 Clarksdale. So it is going to be noticeably cooler than where we've been at the past few days. But as we look at that Thanksgiving forecast, you can see the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade should be a good one. My wife is pumped to watch it this year. Going to be a good one. And of course, we're going to tune in, recommend it to you guys as well. But also make some plans to get outside too. Don't just sit inside and look at the parade all day. Thursday, it's going to be a mostly sunny forecast for your Thanksgiving, 52 degrees for highs, 32 for those lows. Much colder temperatures as noted by that freezing start, but drier conditions moving in, and we'll enjoy that into Thanksgiving as well. So happy Thanksgiving from everybody here at Mississippi Live Weather. I'll say it again tomorrow, but I just want to extend our thanks to you guys. Again, very grateful to be a part of this great community and very grateful for all you guys have done for us here at the startup of Mississippi Live Weather. We're still 4 months in-ish, a little over 4 months now. So the fact that we're able to do all of this and be with you guys, it's just incredible, and we cannot thank you guys enough. Our SEC football forecast, Mississippi State, of course, taking on the Ole Miss Rebels, the Egg Bowl, the famous Egg Bowl. I mean, honestly, I'm a State fan. Have my doubts for this year, but have my hopes as well. We'll see what happens Friday at 11 a.m., but going to be a cool one for sure. 45 degrees first play and 47 towards halftime in that final snap. Maybe a little bit of those breezy conditions, about 5 miles an hour, not overly noticeable, but still there, giving us those dry conditions. And I think having this much cloud cover throughout the game, a little bit of an overestimate. I would say partly cloudy conditions, maybe even mostly clear skies is what we can expect all game long. So get out there and enjoy it. It's going to be a good one for sure, and that's just setting the scene for a football-packed Friday. It's going to start with the Egg Bowl and end with North Half playoff action here in North Mississippi. Several teams taking part in that, and if you missed it at the top of our broadcast, our Mississippi Live Weather Game of the Week going to be in Tupelo as the Oxford Chargers are in town to take on the Tupelo Golden Wave. Excited to see what happens, but I want to say besides that, go ahead and look at our list on our page and find out where any local action is taking place. This is going to be a great forecast to go view some North Half games and see the best of the best here in North Mississippi. I mean, we've been covering it here behind the scenes and all through the season, and I want to say I'm very excited for that 1A matchup to see what happens. Biggersville has been on a hot streak, but Calhoun City looked dominant whenever we watched them earlier on this season. So curious to see, and definitely going to be tuned in Tupelo to what happens at that game. So dry forecast for Thanksgiving like we just tracked a moment ago, but Friday still with those dry conditions. Partly cloudy skies, that's what we were talking about. I think mostly cloudy is a little bit of an overestimate for the Egg Bowl. I think we do still get some peaks of that sunshine. That might even warm temperatures up just a bit for the Egg Bowl. Rain chances move back into the forecast Saturday and Sunday, scattered in fashion, but the thing that you're noticing with this rainfall is you're not getting that unstable air mass moving back into the area. Temperatures remain pretty cool, and that's where we expect it to sit even into the start of next week. So end of November, feeling a little bit different than the start of November, but that's just November actually feeling like November now. Okay, I said November enough. Besides that, I do want to say, okay, Pat, I'm not being a Debbie Downer. I'm being a, what's the word? A realistic Ricky. We're going to make something up because I am a State fan through and through. Had my heart broken one too many times whenever it's come to these games. In Davis-Wade, I always see that there's a chance, and then once I think, oh, we got it, we just haven't. I think if Kamario Taylor starts, then we have a chance. All right, that's my say on the Egg Bowl. Excited to hear from our Will Kohlmeyer, hopefully by tomorrow night, on the Egg Bowl predictions and who he has coming out on top. I have a feeling I know who it is, but he's been pretty solid with the picks this year. That percentage pretty high. So excited to hear what he has to say. And of course, you guys tune in for that broadcast as well. Oh, we have a Ricky in chat. Oh, there we go. There's an actual realistic Ricky. All right, scrolling through the chat here real quick. I do see a lot of folks just excited to be at the Egg Bowl, enjoy Thanksgiving, enjoy a couple of donuts. Sorry about that. But it is going to be a sunshine-filled forecast. And again, we are excited to see everybody at our Game of the Week in Tupelo this Friday, and excited to hopefully see some folks at the Egg Bowl this Friday as well. Ring a cowbell for me, say hey. And it's going to be a good time. Win or lose, it's going to be a good time for sure. You guys have a great night. If you have not done so already, which I would be surprised by this point, we've had so much support here in North Mississippi, but even extending it beyond that. Our app goes beyond North Mississippi. We track conditions even happening across the United States. So go ahead and forward them there that you guys have this app. You want them to download it, and we will even keep those folks informed if anything serious we're moving through their area. Maybe walk through that forecast if we just have a sunny forecast over here. Who knows? You know, the world is our oyster here at Mississippi Live Weather. And you guys let us know what you would like from us. You can email us info@msliveweather.com or look on msliveweather.com, and you can find our contacts through there and send us a message. So let us know what you guys think. Let us know if we're missing something that you guys would want whenever it comes to your forecast. We will do our best to add that in. But we just thank you guys for joining in and the support that you've provided us. Again, this week is a time of thanks, and I want to extend all of our thanks to you here in North Mississippi. Our next broadcast happening your Wednesday morning, 6:30, 7, and 7:30 with meteorologist Maggie McCauley. I assure you that we will not be on before then like we were earlier this morning. No storms to track, no bad weather. It's going to be a good one overnight with a beautiful night sky. We will see you back here at 5, 6, and 10 for your broadcast on your Wednesday evening. Heading into your Thanksgiving, what can you expect? We'll be tracking the very latest all throughout your Wednesday here on Mississippi Live Weather.